All right, test, test, test.
Hello, hello, hello.
Howdy, howdy.
All right, I think that works.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to a Moo episode of Indie Film Cafe. I'm your old pal, the Moo Cow, a.k.a. Paulie Presenza, and today I am joined by...
Jonathan A. Moody, your co-host.
Yay! And then together, we are both joined by...
Ri Maku.
Yay!
Maku's in the studio.
Woohoo! Outstanding.
I think
welcome.
we have you in Zoom and sometimes in the studio.
Welcome
Yeah, it's half and half.
to the new abode. What do you think?
So impressed. So impressed, so excited. There's so much potential in this place.
Yeah.
So much potential, yeah. I mean,
Well-
you want to do some decorating over here.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn this place into a Gothic palace.
Yay!
We love it.
Outstanding. Well, so normally I save some of the wackier, crazier films for our friend Ri Maku here just because I think it's fun. And I was going to do a movie like that, but somebody sent me this really good indie film. And I was like, this is a perfect opportunity. I want to show folks, and I thought I might give Ms. Ri Maku a break here from some of the usual crap that we've shown her before. I'm thinking...
Hot Chicks Blast Your
That one was okay. I was thinking
Attack
of
of the Killer Backpacks.
the other one,
Which one?
the one with the Reflections of Evil.
Oh my god.
I really got you with that one.
So stinky.
What I always loved about you being on Zoom is a lot of times you show your friends the movies and stuff. They'd watch it with you, and then you come on our show, and you'll talk about how your friends also thought these movies were wacky and silly.
Yes,
Right.
and now that I live with said friends, it will now, like, the next time that it's like, oh, here's a really good one, you gotta watch it, Ri Maku, I'm gonna be like, okay,
Share the
I'm
torment.
gonna gather everybody, we're gonna make snacks, we're gonna sit there, and then we're gonna stare and dissociate while this absolute masterpiece question mark invades our minds.
Well, we actually have a pretty darn good film, and I really was hoping that our other friend was going to join us because, to me, this movie is a perfect example of what small independent film groups can do when you have very limited resources, you have maybe one place to shoot, a very small crew, but you have an excellent script that is well thought out, with three-dimensional characters where things make sense, and it's really, really, really well done to me. You guys might feel a little different. We'll see. It's not a perfect film. It has a few issues, but the movie is called I Am a Ghost.
Oh, I've never heard of it.
And it won a bunch of independent film awards back in 2012. And it's on Tubi, which is where I got it, but it's out on Blu-ray, so I am going to snap up that Blu-ray. So there you go. I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to actually show a good movie, because you've seen our stink before, but
Yes.
we haven't shown you our good versions of films. So.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. I Am a Ghost. That sounds like it has potential, much like this place.
All right. So we will be back after we hear some mood music. All right, so we are back, and we are talking about the 2012 horror film called I Am a Ghost, written and directed by H.P. Mendoza. And I am dying to know, what did you guys think?
I took notes. So, do you want like an overall impression first?
Sure.
Or, okay. I thought it was amazing. I thought I don't know what awards it won, but I can say that it feels as though they were more than likely deserved, because that was very artful, very masterful. There were so many like points from a cinematic perspective or from a filmmaker's perspective that I could point out that like really got me. And narratively it was very, very well paced. It kept the pressure on while still being like repetitive, and it really got you into the mentality of what she must be feeling and the haze that she was in. Just that whole thing.
And
I loved it.
The feeling of being trapped in a loop that you can't escape, that you don't even know that you're in. You know what I mean?
I didn't get
amazing.
I didn't get the feeling of trapped. Like you could see that she was trapped, but I just got that. So okay, so little lore drop for me. I have a dissociative disorder a little bit. Like it's a very minor one. It's just PTSD with dissociative tendencies, and when I dissociate, it's very much like looking out my own eyes, like they are a theater screen, you know, and like I'm sitting in the audience watching it, and it's a very particular, very unique feeling, and I think that this movie really captured it well. It captured just the idea of just not really being there and just doing the same thing, and it was masterful, I think, in that.
Okay, that's good. What about you, Moody?
I was glad it was short. I'm not, this is not my typical type of movie, and even Paul knew this from the very beginning. In fact, when he first saw me today, I was telling me about it, he was like, I don't think you'll like this, but Ri Maku will. And he got it for you, Ri Maku, not for me. And
Indeed.
I can say that this is just not my style. I'm very much... I don't like I'm not very much a one place, one location type of person. And when there's really mainly one person, there's a couple people, there's people in this movie, but like there's really just her mostly and everything. It just kind of makes me bored, and I'm tired and sleepy and everything. I didn't doze off, but I almost... Something kept waking me up. Maybe it was the ghost, but something kept waking me up and going, "Oh, I gotta watch this." So I don't know. It was not my cup of tea, but I really liked it. I did think it was very, very good. Like it's a good ghost story because you don't really see it from the ghost perspective. You always see it from the human's perspective. So to see the ghosts in Ghost World.
And not only the ghost, but a bit of a spoiler, the ghost itself is haunted by a part of its past that it didn't quite grasp what it is because they would black out. She would black out during that. And that was the thing. That's the thing that really comes home, at least for me, is all of those repetitive scenes, those snippets that we saw in the beginning where it's trying to build, the idea that this person is in this loop. You're not seeing the whole thing. And you don't realize that until later on, when all of those little snippets have these horrible little endings to them.
God, it was the steady reveal, because it's like, at first it's like really faded, you're like waiting for more story, and I am honestly amazed at how much more story there was in each and every clip, and how, like, that's my comment about the pacing. It really leads back to... Like, no matter how much you looked at it, there was more story that could only be revealed in the in-between moments. Mm-hmm. And it's like the main bulk of it was just the same scene, and then dialogue. And yet somehow it made the same scene just more. It kind of reminded me of Memento a little bit.
That's what I told this is a ghost Memento.
Yeah. I will say my first note is why she ain't seasoned her eggs. That was, I think, my biggest complaint about the movie is that there was no salt, no pepper, nothing. Like,
maybe that's what they give you when you're dead. No salt, no pepper.
You know what? I'm gonna live forever because if you're gonna make me eat eggs without spices.
However, she had both a block of butter and a block of cheese there with her eggs.
She did. I
appreciate that.
The cheese counts as a flavor.
Mm-hmm. Not that the knife ever got to either one of them. They went elsewhere.
It didn't.
Yeah, it did go elsewhere. Which we didn't see at first.
Honestly, though, can we talk about that second spirit? Can we talk about that? That was...
The naked spirit?
The naked blue man?
Okay, thanks, Flingin.
Oh, yeah, there was a bit of dangle.
There was
dingle dangle.
There was so much dangle. There was an amount.
It's not like it was... sexual either.
No, it wasn't. But the thing is, he was truly terrifying because, like, on so many levels, he did. Like, I was sitting there, like, I was. If I had pearls, I'd have clutched him.
Like, completely stripped down to a basic primal level.
Right.
Is what this was. This malevolence that was part of her, and it's interesting how it described itself as both a demon and a monster, and yet also a victim, because it feels trapped within her in the same way that she ends up feeling trapped within the house.
Yeah. But it was tall, and it was terrifying, and its eyes, and its big mouth, and it's screaming, "Your God is dead!" Like, brother. Brother, can we therapize the ghost?
And the thing is that I love how the ending is ambiguous. You don't really know exactly if it works out.
Yeah. No. That was
Partly
It
because
was-
you don't really, I don't know if you can know.
well, that was almost a complaint for me. It was almost a complaint was that it was inconclusive. But it was...
Well, I mean, what they were exercising the house, right? Like in Poltergeist, come to the light, go to the light,
Yeah,
that kind of stuff. So I figured that at the end the Sylvia got tired. Like this, she can't talk to this ghost. She can't. The ghost can't understand what's going on necessarily. So she's just like, this is the bottom. This is it. Like, this is all I have left.
I think that's beyond Sylvia's experience and the ghost's experience, because she keeps saying, "Go to the light," and there is no light. And she keeps telling him, "I don't see a light."
Well,
it's just
she
getting
can't hear her
darker and
either.
darker and darker and darker.
And Sylvia can't hear her because she's
And
not in the same room.
We're seeing her, reacting, and then even the blue horrible guy is starting to react negatively, and then you're only left with her saying, "It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right."
I am a ghost. Like, the inconclusive bit of it, like, I think the reason why that ultimately is not a complaint for me, because, in another situation, had the film been even slightly different, I would have been like, "Oh, come on, you had to at least give us closure." But it's the fact that if you really think about it, because it had me thinking about, like, afterlife. It had me thinking about death.
We don't know.
Well, yeah, it really put the philosophical, like, thought in my head, and so I was thinking there, yeah, it is inconclusive. We just don't know. And so it's like, I like that we didn't get the answer because we don't have it.
Mm-hmm. And here's to take it to a different level, in my opinion, is that when I was watching it, the thought that came to my head was like, okay, so say you do die, right? Mm-hmm. And you know exactly why you died because, say it was a car crash and you knew that most likely that's right. So you die, you go to heaven, hell, whatever, or you just don't exist anymore, right? Whatever you believe in, and then, this girl didn't get that chance. She didn't have closure on her death, right? So she's stuck in this limbo area where they have to get her out. That's why she's a ghost. Then when they finally kind of, they're, doing it as hard as they can, I think she is getting, at least that ghost that, you could see that ghost was scared. There was something else coming at him, like death was coming. I think it was going to be complete. It just didn't show it because, it gives you that thought, like, did it not?
And ultimately, this is my personal take on it. The scariest part, both for me and for her, wasn't the naked blue guy. That was bad. But it was when she tries to leave and she opens the door.
And it's just nothing.
It's the void of nothing. And that's the next step, is to not exist. That's non-existence. And on some level, she understands that's the next step. That's the next step for all of us, is to not exist.
But then why did Sylvia say everyone sees the light? Like what was it about?
But does Sylvia really know that?
That's just it.
That's her thing that she says the others say.
The others say, but
others say.
that's not. But I think also because she is,
She's
she
not
has
a reliable
that.
narrator.
Well, she also has that disassociative. The main girl has the disassociative stuff going for it. So she's got multiple personalities,
Right,
and she
DID.
blacks out. Then it takes a different. She's a different person than a normal.
Maybe the nothing was meant for the other spirit. Maybe what the thing was. Maybe it was like, okay, fan theory. All right, the darkness was for the other guy. The light was for her. but she wasn't going to be able to go to the light until she got that thing into the darkness. And when, at the end, when Sylvia was saying, this is the house for the living, not for the dead, go into the light, blah, 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 blah. Like, she was saying it over and over and chanting it like it was an exorcism. Maybe what she was doing was trying to force the light to come to them. But instead, what she forced was that darkness.
Yeah, darkness, because that darkness was outside and then became inside.
Because
and
that's
was
one
over.
of the things that's established from the get-go is that this is a very different experience for Sylvia. She's done all of this kind of stuff in the past. This is a very different situation. And she's not really in control or really quite understands what's going on herself.
You know what's crazy too, as kind of an unrelated note, but not really. Another layer that this added for me is that whoever voiced Sylvia sounds almost exactly like a very dear friend of mine, who is Danish. Her name's Saskia. She is when she speaks, like even when she's annoyed or frustrated, she sounds just like that. And so I was listening, and all I could hear in that was like my friend talking to me, and it added this other layer because it felt like, because they had the same intonation, the same vocal patterns, that I could feel that emotion because I knew my friend.
And I love the fact that they established just through dialogue and through their voices that there was this relationship. They were both getting annoyed with each other. They were both saying, hey, you've said this before many times. You know?
Well, yeah, and that's the big thing, is that she has done this before, and every single time she gets frustrated or whatever, she blacks out and she wakes up and starts over again, like Groundhog Day. And my thing was that I was thinking about was that maybe, like somehow or another, if she could have calmed her down, they could do it. But like the thought, I mean, if you're a ghost and you're trying to figure out how to, get out of this house and you're stuck there, like, what can you do? Like, and there's only so much.
I like how she said, well, maybe I could become one of those women that haunt the roads and the lakes. It's always like, you don't want to do that.
Jeez.
Yeah.
What I'm wondering, though, is that creature, do you think it was a demon, or do you think it simply was the baser human nature, the rage, which could have been born from anything from a societal lock?
Because part of her psychosis.
Yeah.
Is it trauma from her childhood?
Yeah, or like, you got that one scene where you knew that she had gone under electroshock therapy.
Yes.
And so it's like that must have done nothing but piss that thing off. And at the same time, it's like, there's so many stories of, because like at first, in the very beginning, when we first showed that, I was like, oh, this poor woman, she was probably just, somebody said she was hysterical and then threw her through all this stuff, kind of like you see happening in the poem, The Yellow Wallpaper, where the woman starts off not insane at all. She's just a little upset, and so they lock her in a room and they make her go under all these therapies until eventually she goes mad. That's where my mind went, was like, oh, this woman she's just gone mad over time. But no. Then it's like all revealed. And so it's like, I'm sitting there like, what could this thing be if not a demon? Because that's when I was, so when I was in France representing one of my films at Cannes, I got to talk to a professional scriptwriter, and I pitched one of my ideas. And what I was told is, stop thinking about what makes it stop thinking about what makes it different, think about what makes it the same, right? Was the advice that I was given, which was a big turnaround point for my writing. And so I look at this creature and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to think about like, how is it different from a human being? How is it a demon or anything? I'm going to think about how it is the same. What things is it saying that somebody reasonably could reach to the point of saying themselves? Things like, yeah, I'm a monster, but I'm a victim because I'm trapped here. I lashed out when I could. I crave your death. I thought I would be free if I killed you. I this thing is feeling like a prisoner, lashing out. Did it start that way? Or did it become that over time because it only had these brief seconds where it could take control and be a person?
Right. Is this a literal thing, or is it more metaphorical? The thing is, the movie doesn't take a stance on that, which is what I like. Because the thing is, the girl herself does not know. Sylvia does not know.
No one knows.
The creature itself doesn't seem to really know. So we shouldn't really know either.
I think what I like about it is that it lets you wonder. It lets you come up with your own theories, your own thoughts. It forces you to take a more philosophical approach to death, to something that is very, especially recently studied, DID. Since I think 2019 was the big turnaround point for when psychologists started studying DID. And I have a friend who has DID and refers to everyone within them as a system. And it's the way that it works, from what I have seen, from what I have read, from what I've asked, it really is just blacking out, leaving, coming back. Sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't. The fact that this was made in 2012 and didn't really what am I trying to say here? The fact it was made before there was a deep public understanding of it, and yet it didn't get it completely wrong, makes me wonder if there was somebody with the ID around to reference.
That's a good segue, because I want to give you guys a little bit of background on the film. So again, this was written and directed by H.P. Mendoza, who his first film was back in 2009 called Fruit Fly. He's a musician guy. He's a composer, so he comes from a more musical background. So the first thing he did, the Fruit Fly, was a musical. Then he did this film. Then he did a movie called Bitter Melon in 2018. He did a film called Attack, Decay, Release in 2021. And in 2023, the latest one he did is called The Secret Art of Human Flight. He also did the music for this, and he did the music for most of those other things. And he's known as a composer. And he composed a musical back in 2006 called Colma the Musical. Apparently that was a big thing in 2006. I don't recall of it. Then I'm not a musical person. A couple other little bits and pieces that I thought were interesting. Apparently, he changed his name, his official name, to his initials after his mother's advice. His mother went to a psychic, and the psychic told his mother that he would be a lot more successful if he went by H.P. Mendoza versus whatever, I forget his name is.
Well, just like H.P. Lovecraft?
Well,
let's not draw comparisons.
There's a completely different thing there, but I'm just saying, that's the name, the first name I think of when...
I mean, it's true. You see a lot of greats that only use their initials, and it does flow off the tongue pretty well.
So, yeah, it did win a bunch of indie film awards. Probably the biggest one is the Bram Stoker International Film Festival Award back in 2012. They did do Kickstarter for part of it. They did Kickstarter for $10,000 in 12 for post-production things. So things like color correction, fixing some of the sound issues, stuff like that.
I could tell. Do you know how I could tell? When we did the credits in the very beginning, which I thought, when I saw that, I thought that was really neat. A good way to do it. But when we saw all the executive producers and special thanks together, it was like... Yep, this is some kind of crowdfunding thing, because
which, in my opinion, that's the proper way to use that sort of thing. Not to finance your entire film, but to finish it. To me, that's the way to do it. So the folks involved, Emily is played by an actress by the name of Anna Ishida. She's been in a bunch of TV series. She's been in some shorts. She was also in that other movie I mentioned, Bitter Melon. She was also in a film called He Won't Kill, She Won't Die. She was born in Tokyo, and she has won a number of awards as a theater actress. So she's been a theater, and she was brought up as a theater actress who transitioned into films now, which is kind of, I think, one of the things you pick up on, the way that she performed.
She had an incredible scream.
She did.
She had very good transition between expressions.
Absolutely. Sylvia, the disembodied voice, so we never actually see her, is played by Jeannie Baroga, who also was in TV series, a few shorts, and in a movie in 2014 called Prophecy of Eve. She's also written and produced a number of shorts on her own.
So that name kind of sounds like your friend or whatever, right? Maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. It didn't really sound. It sounded almost Hispanic.
Yeah.
Baroga. Okay.
Yeah.
And one of the things when I read some of the reviews, and they brought up a good point about there's sort of a Buddhist theme in here about the ideas of regret and hanging on to things that you need to let go of in order to move on with your life or move on to the next phase. And that kind of is echoed in what's going on with this character. You know, we understand it from the ghost point of view that she has to move on, but why does she have to move on? Well, why is she trapped there? In theory,
I know why.
Because she's trapped because of her own guilt.
I know why she has to move on. She's bothering the people in the house, you know.
You can't help but wonder, like, they talked about it, like, what the family is experiencing. She specifically never said, you're doing this. She said the family is experiencing this, that, and the third. So it's like the stuff that she's doing, probably harmless.
And what I love about it, she never experiences the house today because she has no frame of reference. She can only reference it from when she was alive. So she doesn't see anything other than what was, I guess, 100 years ago, which is interesting. So she can't see those effects.
Well, I mean, she did have a family, though, right? Why can her family be there?
Well, she had a little sister and a mother, and they abandoned her. As are,
that's
if
right.
the daughter, if the younger sister, like, I mean, remembers being almost choked out by her sister who didn't seem human at the moment, odds are they wouldn't have come back. And then, you know.
It's amazing how things turn, because at first you think, what a horrible mother, wants to throw you in the lake, was going to leave you here to die. And then it's like, oh, she was stabbing people, stabbing herself.
She was
going through all this shit.
Choking her sister. There's not a good person.
Not a good thing, but, 100 years ago, what options do you have?
Yeah.
You know?
Who's the naked guy?
Oh, gosh, I forgot to write his name down, but
we got a real complete look.
He was involved in the production. I think this is the only thing he's ever done. I think it's Derek something.
Well, he did the hell out of it.
He did.
Yeah.
He was scary. I was scared.
He was terrifying. But I think, I think why he was terrifying was the sounds and the just running at somebody like.
Maybe. But think about that one shot at the very end, right? Because the thing that was told is that once you become conscious, once you close off. Once you close off, you can see yourself going through the loop, right? She got out of the loop. He didn't until that last second when he was watching himself stab her. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, he looked afraid then, and his eyes stopped being cadaverous.
Because I think he saw what she saw, which was her stabbing herself.
Yeah, he could see himself stabbing her, the impression, and then ultimately they could both see how it was just one person doing it. Mm-hmm. And so it's like his eyes changed. They stopped being black holes, which is what led me to be like, was he ever really a demon?
Right. Was this all part of their mental issues? And talks about dementia precox, which is an old archaic term for schizophrenia, basically. And what the person went through, and I wasn't sure if you guys picked that up, but I guess you did, was electroconvulsive therapy, which was just introduced in the early 1900s. And when they did it in the early 1900s, it was new, so they didn't know what they were doing. So they didn't do things like give you anesthetic. There were no safety precautions. There was all kinds of shit. So A, it hurt, and B, part of the problem back then was that it led to memory loss and memory fragmentation, which is what this person or this spirit is exhibiting through there. So it's not even a ghost of a regular, well-adjusted person. This is,
I feel like those are the only ones that you can really convince to go. Everything else you have to keep in mind that most people are not entirely lucid when they die. Unless it's a very sudden, shocking death. Odds are you're fated by then.
So it's basically an entity. It's not a human, or whatever. It's just an
echo.
Manifestation of something, but it's not real.
Yeah, it's like this. Like they said, it's the scent of a person who's been in a place long enough to leave it.
This is a small, micro, production shot in one place with a small crew of a couple of people Yeah, come on, that was a lot packed into
It
a
was.
small independent feature to me. To me, this is an example of what you can do when you have a great script.
Yes.
Okay, then people, please, you're going to make a movie. Don't gloss over the script. The script is the foundation of your film, and when you have a good one, this is what you can do with it. And please, just keep working on your script until you get it right.
The writing is the number one most important thing. Now, also, can we talk about? Can I talk about the cinematography?
Absolutely, there's some
Okay.
great cinematography.
Who is the cinematographer?
I believe he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe Mendoza was.
H.P. Mendoza, you're probably married, but if you weren't, I would propose based on the cinematography alone. Because I wrote a couple of notes here, but mainly the main thing that really, really, really got me was the double shots where you see her looking and then you see her point of view side by side, but like not entirely even.
It was done in a stereoscope way, like they did back in 1900. I love it.
Yes, I love that. I love that. We need that to make a resurgence in modern day cinema.
I agree.
It might have just inspired me to go for it.
I weirdly enough, I like stuff like I like the shots of the stairs when she's going up and you can see through the stairs or whatever. Just weird shots like that. That I was just like, okay, that seems like a Hitchcock shot. Like nothing like that. Or like the only person I can compare in Hollywood today would be like James Wan, who does shots that are just that are just kind of like, whoa, what the fuck did I just watch?
And I love the one part early on when we're going through all these loops and you're not exactly 100% sure what's going on until she goes to leave to go to the store, and you all of a sudden leave her world and now you're in our world and you just see the door open and nobody come out and then close all by itself.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
And that's like the frame of view that everybody else, including the new family, is seeing.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
seeing a door open, but nobody going out of it and then closing, and then you're just like...
And when they do that, it's just like the normal, regular light of day.
And they're seeing the mop move, is what Sylvia was saying,
Or
and
the
the
lights
frying
coming on.
pan.
Frying pan, and then
Yeah.
there was apparently knives or something. Like,
Well, that's just it. It's like, and that's what she's saying, is that, are they adversely being affected? Well, yeah, it's not just stuff moving around. There are knives flying, there's shit breaking, because remember, it's not just you, it's also the evil monster part that's in there.
It's so interesting because, like, her life as a ghost is kind of mundane.
Yes.
Like, she just makes food, she goes shopping.
Those are the memories.
Yeah,
Yeah,
her
it's
memories
normal.
are just normal shit. So, like,
At first.
At first.
Because remember, the first 2/3 of it is normal. We don't get the other third until she closes off and starts to remember that stuff. And they're all bad. They're all bad.
Yeah.
And, like, also, one thing that I kind of appreciated was that Sylvia, the time skips, right? Like, she runs out, she seems to only experience, like, a few minutes, she comes back and it's been days, Over time, you can hear how Sylvia gets more and more desperate until she starts digging deeper and deeper and
Right.
deeper and figures it all out.
Mm-hmm.
Sylvia pissed me off. Okay, pissed me off more than the egg. Sylvia pissed me off because she's like, I know what happened. I did my research. Yeah, and then you looked into it more than not at all, and you realized, oh, there was no murder. How would you have thought there was a murder? If,
Because I think
she
that's
told her.
what... I mean, yeah, but I think... because I think that...
That's what Emily thought.
That's what
Yes.
Emily thought happened to her, because that's what she saw.
Yes.
She saw some demon killing her when it wasn't the demon killing her, it was herself killing her.
Yes.
But when Sylvia's like, I did my research, you didn't, you killed yourself, I think that became a turning point of, like, really messing with Emily's poor mind.
Didn't she say it twice?
Yeah. And can I point out how very reasonable Emily was as a ghost to hearing all this information? Mm-hmm. She's reacting the same way I would. Where I'm
Yeah.
like, wait, I'm a ghost? Wait a minute, what's going on here? You know what I mean?
I think that you would be a particularly entertaining ghost because you'd be like, okay. Have you seen this movie? Because it's kind of like this one scene. Okay, I need you to go. I'm gonna wait. I got time.
Either that or
I'm gonna wait. Go watch this. Go watch this list of movies. You would be giving the medium a list of movies and be like, okay, that scene, pretty accurate to what I'm saying.
I'd be mooing at people's ears in the middle of the night.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It'd be the most annoying ghost.
You would turn so many people into vegetarians.
Yeah, I don't, like, you know, you've always thought, like, what would you do if you're a ghost? But the funny thing about it is, like, what I liked about this, too, was that she was stuck in the house that she died in. That's typically ghost lore. You know, you can't just, like, pick up and leave and go to the market, you know, yourself like she wanted to. You know, like, you can't do that. You're stuck where you died.
And she's wondering about it. She says, what would happen if I do this? And then Sylvie's like, I'm not really sure. That's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, like, well, she can't, doesn't she? Like, when she goes out to the outside, she comes, basically, it brings her back to another memory. Yeah. Or she goes into the void. But I think that was later. But, like, in the beginning, when she just went out to go get groceries, she basically blacked out and went back to wake up in the morning. Like, it started all over again.
Is that just a normal part of being a ghost, or is that because she's been electroshocked, or because she's got this other trauma? We're not really 100%
I think it's
sure
more that
all
she's
of
a
it.
ghost. I think it's a ghost thing. Because that's usually what happens.
Like I said, this is a lot to pack into one small film.
But very skillfully was it packed.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I said before when we were sitting there, I was like, I want to know what your definition of good is. I can say with full confidence, yeah, that was really good.
and you can see why this is the kind of film I want to present to other filmmakers, so that they can see this is the sort of things you can reach for, provided you've gone and made a really, really good screenplay.
Well, right.
Because that is your foundation. And with that, you can do all the other stuff. And the other thing is, and I've always said this too, have a location. Have a specific location. You can't just be anywhere. Location is extremely important, because it becomes a character. It becomes part of the production, and it adds so much, instead of just, well, it could be anywhere. Well, make it.
The location was sublime. I feel like it was like an Airbnb type of situation, maybe.
I don't think so. I think it was probably they rented out somebody's house that they knew.
Potentially, he is based in San Francisco, so it could have been one of those, late 19th century houses that they still have in, like, what is that movie or that TV show with the twin girls that everyone.
Oh, Shining. What?
No. The TV show with the Olsen twins.
Oh, Full House?
Full House, at the beginning of that, where they have all those homes, those expensive homes. Yeah, it's probably one of those Victorian mansions.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of.
Can we talk about, can we shift into talking about the audio and the ambient sounds?
Fabulous. Again, he's the composer. He did all the sound stuff.
Yeah, well, it was that thrumming sound. It was like that disembodied, like, whoosh that was constantly in the background.
Yeah, I like that part.
That was great.
That was that pressure-y feeling for me. I think that sold, like, dead, to me. Mm-hmm. And just not altogether there.
But I didn't like it at first, because I didn't understand what...
Oh, I hated it. I hated it the whole time, but I love that I hated it.
Yeah.
And it sets the stage from the very, very beginning, from the opening moments.
The whole time it's going... And, like, I'm like... Oh my God! And with our, our sound system isn't the highest quality. Even you had to tell me to turn it down, because it was just.
Yeah, I said I communicated to turn it down because it was so loud I could feel it in, like, the back of my heart.
Yeah, that was it. That was the part that
I remember you saying that you had sound issues, and like the Damon Packard film gave you heebie-jeebies because of the sound.
Yeah, I have this thing called synesthesia, and so I taste and feel sounds sometimes. Mm-hmm. And sometimes when they're, like, loud enough, I'm just like, it's just whew, ha.
But again, this guy did musicals.
Yeah,
it comes from a musical background, and yet he had this story in him as well.
Well, I mean...
multi-talented.
It seemed like he also did other stuff. You had said a few things he had done. But he had also he directed a movie called Yes, We're Open, which apparently I guess is a comedy. Looks like a comedy. And then he had done I Am Ghost. Then he did Bitter Melon. Then he did an animated movie called Attack, Decay, Release.
Yeah, that's that one.
And he started off with the movie called Colmuth the Musical, which I have no idea what that is. But, like, he he did composing. Did he do anything else? Did he do the cinematography? Because I'm trying to find out if.
I think he did, but
yeah, he's done cinematography.
I don't have my phone with me, so.
Yeah. Trying to find it, but it's not popping up. Internet's being.
But it was really very remarkable. Like I said, I really particularly loved the attic. Boy, without saying anything, that was one of the creepiest places, and you knew as soon as she went up there that there was something bad going to happen or something bad that was in there. Because remember, there were a number of scenes where she as the ghost is in her loop, but all of a sudden you'd hear either a moan or a thump, and she'd be looking up like, what?
Right, and that was where I when I first heard that, there was two thoughts that ended up happening. One, I thought that was the family, right, that they were up there or whatever upstairs, and then she was hearing their side. Later, I started realizing, no, that's the dangerous person, and he's in the attic. And what had happened, I guess, was that her mom told her, "Don't ever go up in the attic" or something like that.
That's where she was going to be put when she quote unquote was unruly.
Right,
and he even says that.
So he was put up there. Because he was the unruly part of her.
And that's almost like a metaphor for the mind, too. It's like you're normal Emily, but this other thing that's taking over your consciousness, when it's unruly, is going to be locked up here sometime, and you're going to black out and not be part of our reality.
I just wonder, how long did it take for blue guy, gray skin? She described it as gray skin. It kind of looked bluish to me, but I think it was just also the color grading.
Grayish blue.
Yeah. Dude, bro, how long was he trapped before he became that?
Probably the whole life of Emily until she died.
Yeah, because he did mention, I've been trapped in you my entire existence kind of thing. So, but it's how long was he able to look through her eyes and not be able to do anything? And how hard did he have to wrestle for a second of control trying to punish this body for containing him?
Boy, howdy, was he not happy about it.
Nope.
No, he was not.
He ran after her as quick as he could.
And it's just I felt so bad for her. Because, especially when you saw the rest of those little bits. The one benign one where she's, waking up and going, oh, and it just seems like a normal thing. And then you find out, oh, no, that's the time when he's, smacking her until she, spatters blood all over the place.
God, that was pretty bad.
Oh, my God. That was so... I felt so bad for her.
But see, also, at the end, you see, so... We would always see, clips, when she's about to eat, and then she picks up the knife, and she, it goes down, but you don't see what happens, right? You just see that, and then you'd imagine in your head that she was just making, she was doing it to her food. Well, it turns out that she was doing it to her hand, and I think that was the demon in her at that time. Sure. That's a memory from the demon doing
because
that.
She doesn't remember anything past that because she blacks out.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until she passes through her and then unlocks
and is able to see all these memories.
Yeah,
and actually see it from outside. And that, I think, was pretty cool.
And I love the scene, again, where we're seeing 6 different things at once, where each little loop is now sort of being exorcised from the room and it vanishes. Mm-hmm. And you see, oh my God, that was so well done.
The freaking... Okay, you know what freaked me out, actually? It was a very well done, sudden horror-themed jump scare, is when we figure out the anything thing, where she says, anything, and she's been hearing it the whole time, and she just turns and stares right at herself. And it's just
That scene was
because
pretty
it was
freaky.
5 or 6 times we see it without knowing what's going on, and then when it finally reveals itself, and she's like...
Yeah, because that memory isn't conscious. That memory is stuck in a loop. And then that memory looks right at her and it's what is it? It doesn't seem like a person anymore. Now it seems dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what was it, though? Why was she able to have it stare right at her, even though it... Was it staring at her? Did it hear something?
It was looking in the room.
Because she heard something. She heard her saying anything, and that turned out not to be a ghost. That was herself, but she doesn't know that.
Very Christopher Nolan on that front, honestly.
Oh no, it's layered by so many different things, both sonically and visually, thematically, musically, sound wise, everything.
I feel like, and I mean, maybe this is a stretch, but I think that part of what made the writing so good is that it was approached like a composer would approach it. Each bit of this is built up, but like, okay, so you have different types of storytelling, but with an instrument, with something like a composition, each and every instrument is necessary. It is a part of an ecosystem of storytelling in and of itself. Each progression of notes tells its own story, and each part of it is a story in and of itself. And H.P. Mendoza did that with this, if you really think about it, because each loop, each section of the loop is a separate instrument. Each separate instrument is telling its own story. Each loop is telling its own story. And then you have this overall composition, this orchestration that comes together, and finally all of it fits.
And then you finally understand what the whole story is.
It's music.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah, it is great. So you can understand why when I saw this, I'm like, okay, I'm changing my mind.
Yeah.
Much as I wanted to show you the other fun, crazy, wacko stuff, and we'll get to it.
We'll get back to that.
This one really grabbed me in a way that I hadn't been grabbed in quite a while. And, again, my first thought was, okay, I'll save this for Forgotten Horror Classics. No, it's Ri Maku's birthday. Let's give her a good movie.
It's so funny because there's two things with that too. So the first thing is that when you told Ri Maku, like you posted, because I posted something like "Happy Birthday, Ri Maku," and then you were like, "I've got something fun planned for Ri Maku," and I was like, "Oh God, this is gonna be another Reflections of Evil or whatever."
Oh,
and
man.
that would have, or something like that. But then you give her something nice and stuff, something that she maybe want for her birthday. So that was very sweet of you.
Thank you.
Now I can't even remember what my second one was. I had a thing for that.
By the way, he just did a new short film that he put up on YouTube.
Yeah?
So it's a little 5-minute.
I'm gonna go
film.
watch
Wait,
it.
he's not the one is he out running about doing stuff
David
still?
Packard? Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, but I thought, was he homeless at one point?
What?
He was, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, because I was like,
Not anymore.
Wait, not anymore?
He worked as an editor for a while.
Him and, was it Carl J. Sukler?
Well, yeah, Sukler's a little different.
I know, but they should work together. That would be funny. All right, yeah. I really just enjoyed this movie. I was very pleasantly surprised.
You said at the beginning you didn't like it.
I know, because in the beginning, and even then, when I first watched it, I was like, it was hard to watch and everything. It's a very slow burn movie.
Well, and the thing is that in other films, the idea that you've got all this ambiguity, you've got a pretty much single location, even though you go to a lot of different rooms, but there's only one location, and you've got a very limited cast. That usually spells trouble for most films. But in this case, you understand why it's there. You know what I mean? It's part of this story, and it works for this story.
And as wonderful as it is, I probably won't ever watch it again. I mean, it's like I've got it in my head. I know, but I don't.
I'm going to.
I know you're gonna buy the Blu-ray.
Yeah,
you're gonna buy the Blu-ray.
I'm gonna share it with other folks.
I know Gary would probably love it.
Well, Joe Lynn is gonna love it.
Yeah, and you could probably still do it for Forgotten Horror Classic. That was the other thing I was gonna say. Forgotten Horror Classics. At first, I was like, where's the horror in this Forgotten Horror? It seemed like more like a drama, right? Or whatever, or like maybe a thriller, but it didn't seem like a horror until the end. Yeah. And so I was about to ask you, at one point, where's the horror in this movie? And I always have the lines that you say to me like in the back of my head. And one of the things you always say is just wait.
Just wait.
Just wait.
Hold my beer.
Yeah, it's happening. So
I wouldn't steer you wrong.
I know. And it was a horror film, I would say. It's just...
it was scary.
I was deeply unsettling.
I don't get scared from a lot of horror films. The last film that made me nervous at all was Smile.
Oh, I got some movies for you.
Oh, man.
Was it David Lynch kind of stuff, or David Cronenberg. This guy could be up there. I'm surprised, he isn't doing bigger stuff. I mean, unless he doesn't want to. some filmmakers are happy just making the.
Well,
I mean,
you know.
I wouldn't want to do bigger stuff. There's way too many politics and
Mm-hmm.
too many people trying to undermine you, take your success, blah, 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 blah. I personally would rather do it for love of the game.
there you go. I'm with you. But this gives you an idea how, when I talk about Forgotten Horror Classics, this is the sort of example of what I try to do.
Yeah.
Because it's, it tends to fly under the radar, except for folks who are dedicated horror people who look for things. And I'm lucky because I have a number of friends who know exactly the kind of thing that I like. And if I don't see this, they'll find it and they'll be like, "Oh, hey, you need to see this movie." And I get a lot of movie suggestions through that.
I'm definitely going to recommend this movie to friends.
Yeah.
But with the warning ahead of time that the audio can be pretty disturbing to people who have disorders affected by such things.
Trigger warnings, basically, which I think
Trigger warning, audio, and pee-pee.
Yeah, if you don't want to see Dangle,
If you don't want to see an entire schlong.
I was like, at first I was like, is he naked? Like, I wasn't sure because it went so fast, and at first you see it and then you don't for a second and then you see it later and I'm like, yep, he's naked.
It's a primal representation of that emotion. Like, if it's not going to be, wearing small clothes.
Right. Yeah. And
It's a demon.
yeah. And
Maybe.
the thing is like, it's not done in any kind of way that's going to make anybody turned on by anything. It's quite the opposite.
It's not there for you to be like, oh, wow.
Oh, look at that pee-pee.
No. What? You are...
This is more like I never want to ever think about anything else.
Yeah.
It's not even that. It's just, and I mean this very respectfully to the actor, but it was insignificant. Not like in size. I'm sure it's average. I don't know. I'm a lesbian. But it's the fact that it didn't matter.
Right.
It just added to...
Well, it mattered, but it mattered in a different way.
Yeah, like it mattered in that it added to the story. It wasn't unnecessary.
Right. It's not like, where you see a lot of independent films, especially early people trying to establish themselves where, let's put a shower scene with a hot chick for no reason other than to...
Or the pointless ball sack scene in Game of Thrones where there was no point. It was just, I'm telling you, there's a mole. Like, hello? There was no point. You were just trying to be risque. This wasn't trying to be risque. This was trying to tell a story.
I hate to say that's all HBO now. Like they just try to throw in as much male and female nudity as possible just to get
the
viewers.
naked body is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful, and I think people are beautiful. I think bodies are beautiful, and I don't mind seeing them, but I want the same thing for nudity that I want for every aspect of the film. I want it to add to the story. I don't want it to be unnecessary.
Right.
And this did add to the story.
It did.
Yeah.
I fully 100% agree. It was a good movie. Like, as much as it was hard for me to watch in the beginning, and I was glad, like I said, I was glad that it was an hour and 12 minutes because had it been like an hour and a half or 2 hours, it might have overstayed its welcome.
I have to show you a dark song. I think you would love that. If you like this film, you would love a dark song.
Okay.
We did that on Forgotten Horror Classics. I showed that to Jolynn and to Matt. They both loved it. They were like, "Oh my god,
Fantastic.
Great film." So yeah, come on back. I'd love to show it to you here. Bring everyone along.
Absolutely.
We'll do snackage.
That's the beautiful thing. Is like you really do have a place now where people like can do Forgotten Horror Classics, or if you just want to get people together to watch another thing that you want to do,
Podcast or not, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just fun, and I feel bad in that a movie like this is not seen by more people. It is on Tubi. So there's that, and that's where I got this from. But it's one of those situations where I will find a movie like this, and I'll make sure that you guys can see it, and that's why I had it on the thumb drive. But the fact is, I'm going to go buy it because I want this for myself.
And I mean, honestly, true facts here. You're doing the Lord's work at this point by reporting on it, by having this whole discussion, this entire existence of this podcast. should bring it to light. And the fact that you went out and bought it, I think, is actually a sentiment that a lot of people are reflecting these days with streaming platforms just taking things off and suddenly you can't find it anywhere.
Tubi's especially, because Tubi has a contract for 5 years or something?
Yeah.
Maybe less. And then they're like, once the movie's gone, it has to either go to a different digital streaming platform or you have to buy it.
Yeah, and if it's not on anything, the price to buy it skyrockets.
Yeah.
No, because, listen, one of my favorite series from my childhood was Dark Angel with Jessica Alba. It's the first thing she was in. I loved it. I want to re-see it and see how it holds up. But it's not on any streaming platform. And if you go to try and buy the DVDs, it's $60 for the first season. And so, or 80, I think it's 80. And so it's holy,
Yeah, because it's out of print.
yeah, if you're able to see it on this, that is the time to buy it, because you don't know when you're going to be able to see it again. You don't know when it's going to stream again.
And this version we saw was just the sort of 480p version on Tubi. That ain't the Blu-ray version.
It was beautiful, though.
Can you imagine seeing this on the Blu-ray screen?
Oh, God, it was so weird. It was
Imagine seeing a 4K version. I mean, my TV upscales, so it'll take a normal Blu-ray and it'll upscale it to almost 4K quality. So, yeah.
So you can't wait to see it.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait. So I highly recommend that if this is the kind of film you want to see, go out there and buy it for yourself. And we try to do that. Even for movies that we think are crappy movies, we still celebrate them and we still tell people, here's how you can go out and buy them, because what we find entertaining, you might find entertaining too.
Or what we don't find entertaining or don't like or whatever, you may actually like it.
Right.
Because we can't... There are people that love movies that we don't love, or whatever. My favorite thing is, even we always try to say this, especially if we don't like something, go buy the movie itself, yourself, because we like to help the independent filmmakers.
At least from my point of view, if it's a movie that I completely dislike for whatever reason, I just won't even bring it up. I'd never bring it on the show. I would just never.
Let me know when you get the Blu-ray, because I'm gonna want to come over and watch it again.
Oh yeah. Plus, I didn't go and read it, but I'm almost positive there's going to be commentary. There might be extras on there, sort of talking about it. You know what I mean?
Man,
yes,
I want all of that.
Exactly.
It's rare that I see a movie where I want to know more. I appreciate a lot of movies. A lot of movies really strike me. Recently, Sinners completely swept me away. I was blown away by that.
We like that too.
We liked it too. We did see a couple problems with it, but aside from that, it was
these
pretty
days,
good.
that's a great film compared to what's mostly coming out.
Yeah.
There. You know how I feel about.
I have a great respect for Ryan Coogler.
I do too. I
But
like him a lot.
Point being, it's rare that a movie makes me want to see how it was made. And this one, I'm just I'm into it, because it's not going for all the insanely pretty motion shots. It's not doing a lot of that. A lot of the shots are, on sticks. They're still. But you look at it and you're just dang. I didn't see the vision at first for the shot where you could see the stairs and then the hallway and then just that blur in the middle for the banister. Didn't really see the vision at first until she walked by, and I realized how wide of a shot it truly was. Or not wide. What am I thinking of? Why is my brain not working right now? It had to have been a 35 or something, or whatever millimeter lens was used, it was capturing more of the scene, and I just didn't see the vision until I saw it. And so it was pleasing.
Well, and that's the beauty of having physical media, is that you usually will come with extras packed in there that you can get to find out stuff, or you hear. That's my favorite part, is to hear the filmmaker talk about why they made the decisions to do the things that they did.
And
Are
honestly,
you saying you wanted us to get him on their show?
Okay.
I was
would
about
love
to
to
say,
get 'em.
honestly, this is a message to HP Mendoza personally. If there are not extras on your DVD, and even if they are, can we just talk to you
Yes,
about
please.
this? I have a million questions.
If we get him on the show, we'll invite you to come on.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm a
Special
fan.
guest.
This made me a fan.
Yes, and we this guy, I think, actually knows what he's doing. As
So,
opposed to
a bit of a curveball. Usually I find the really super stinker ones, although occasionally, the other movie we have to show you is Blue Ruin. That's a really good
that's a
film.
good one. Paul found that one, and is it our lowest rated one or one of
It is our lowest rated one.
No.
So yeah. Well, I don't know. It'll be interesting. We're gonna have to rate this one too. So have we reached that time?
Sure.
All right. So now's the period where we score our film, by which we rate it on a scale rather of 1 to 10, by which the lowest number is the better film, and the higher the number, think more stink, turning the dial up on the smell factor, is the higher number. And you can go a step in between with a 0.5 score if you want. And then we take our 3 scores, we add them up, and then we figure out where on the ladder of stink this particular movie happens to go. And if you're all the way up in stinky heaven, it's because you've hit a 30 from both of us, or from all of us. And I don't know that that's going to happen on this one.
That's fair.
So, who would like to score the film first?
No, you don't want to go? Okay.
I don't want to go first.
This is tough, man, because, like, you know, the part of me wants to be like, this was, you know, close to perfect, you know, right? But it was very slow in the beginning, and very much, I just wasn't ready for that, you know, kind of slowness, even though I think you even warned me about that, you know, and stuff. I should have, and I forgot that it was, like, supposed to be one place, you know, so there's like, wait a minute, what's going on here? But I will give it a 2.
Okay.
You know.
That's fair. I'm going to go with a 1.5.
1.5?
I thought about a 1. However, the half point above there, because there are a few extra repetitions that I thought we could have done without. That is my only thing. So if in essence, it could have actually been a little tiny bit shorter if we had to, or we could have had a couple of other scenes that expanded here or there. But these are just nitpicks. Other than that, I really love the film, and yeah, for pretty much obvious reasons. So yeah, a 1.5.
I almost wanted to hear more Sylvia. I liked her.
I know, it's great. We got so much of Sylvia just from her dialogue. This is what you can do with just dialogue. She wasn't even there.
She wasn't even there. It was even funny when she was like, you know, where are you right now? She's like, I'm over by the whatever. And so she goes and sits down, and she's like staring at this writing chair or whatever, writing desk. And
That's the director, the writer, and the actress all coming together and doing a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for my scoring, based on that, I agree that a couple of the repetitions could have been shortened. However, the fact that they were never in the same timing, the fact that they kept cutting it off. At one point we had like a frame that was maybe 2 seconds long, like we had a shot that was like two seconds long and then cut itself off. I thought that was really good. So I'm gonna go with, if you'll allow me to do more decimals, I would go with a 1.25. The 0.25 being that I do agree some of it could have been taken out. But I just think that for it being there when it didn't necessarily need to be, it was done well.
I mean, we've never done that before.
Are you gonna let me?
Can we? Like, is that a?
If you're not gonna let me, it's gonna be a 1.
We're gonna let you do anything you want.
Yes.
Yay.
We love having you on here.
Okay.
I'm spoiled.
So 1.25. Okay, I'm gonna put that down.
So a 1, a 2, sorry.
No, 1.5.
1.5, a 2, and a 1.25. So that's
a 3.75.
Yeah, 3.75. Not bad.
Hold on, wait, hold on. You're gonna need to tell me that again.
I mean, we gave John Johnson the what did we give him? The first 10 plus. So
Really?
Yeah, he was the first one to get the 10 plus. So just because he wanted it or whatever like that, and we're just like.
So if we're gonna give him that, we can give you the 0.25.
Thank you.
Okay,
it's
so
because I'm a nitpicker.
Okay,
okay.
1.7, or wait, 2, 3, 4, I guess, like
3.75. Oh no, it's 4.75.
4.75.
Yeah. 2, 3,
Oh, yeah.
4, half, and a quarter.
Yeah, why for some reason did I think you scored it a 1? My brain is not doing it.
I think Blue Ruin got a 4. So I think Blue Ruin is still the lowest.
Well,
find
yes,
out
but
in 2
how many
seconds.
people watched it?
3.
3? Dang. All right.
Actually, wait.
It was more than 3. We had a few folks there, actually. But we only take 3 scores.
We only take 3 scores. So
keep it
it was
consistent.
Jolene's score, Jason's score, and my friend Jason's score, and Paul's score. And because I stood out for that day or whatever. Even though I gave it a 1, so would have actually made it lower had it been my score.
Very
but it was
different film, but equally.
But it was a
great.
4 because it was 1.5 and 1.5, so it was a 4. So that's so close. But
We haven't had a 3 yet. We haven't had a unanimous 1 from everyone.
1 from everyone, yeah.
Hell, we could have a half.
We could have a 0 if we
I
really
didn't know
wanted to.
that was an option.
I didn't know that was an option either.
Well, now
Well,
that I do.
There you go. The stinkometer is expanding in the direction we normally don't want it to go. But
We're
Yeah,
evolving.
well, no, Paul. No, Paul. We do want it to go lower.
Occasionally.
Because even though, if we get a good one, which, Paul, you do find, and I've found a couple ones that we've been surprised to get a low score on, and...
I mean, it can be good. That's Dr. Horror's House of Idiots was one of my favorite.
Yeah, but we didn't score that one.
Didn't we?
No, we did that for What the F Friday.
Oh, okay.
So
It
we
was
didn't
a good
actually.
movie, though.
Should have
I
done
would
it
have
for Indie
scored
Film
that.
Cafe.
I would have
but-
scored that low. That was fun.
Yeah, it was goofy. That would have been scored low. It would have been.
Well, reach out, do your Moody magic, see if we can't get Mr. Mendoza on our Indie Film Cafe spotlight. I don't know if you can friend him or whatever, but yeah, I would love to pick this guy's brains. And man, why aren't you doing more horror movies, please? It seems like he's doing a little bit of everything, which is great. It shows your scope and shows that you can do different things. But man, he knocked it out of the park with this one.
He did.
Okay,
I want to go watch his other stuff.
So
this
Oz
Blu-ray,
Perkins.
this Blu-ray comes with audio commentary, deleted scenes, behind-the-scenes footage,
Nice.
and interviews with the writer-director and
Outstanding.
the.
Okay, cool. We
and the
need
main girl.
more interviews. I'm going to watch all of those. And,
There
then
you
have
go.
And it
follow-up
said, and a new
questions.
featurette called Labyrinthian.
Nice.
So I don't know if that's a short or something. It sounds like.
I mean, gosh, this was 14 years ago when this came out. So
This is amazing.
I know. So yeah, the thing is that I felt less a little bit when I watched Longlegs in the theater. I don't know if you got to see that. Oh, it's really, really good.
Oh my God, you gotta see that movie.
Yeah. I have it. So we'll show it to you.
Okay, awesome.
Oz
Wonderful.
Perkins. Oz Perkins is doing a lot of good stuff.
I don't know. I haven't seen that new monkey movie.
The monkey.
either.
I haven't seen it yet either.
Yeah,
But
it
I've
look-
heard it's good.
I've heard mixed. I've heard some people liked it, some people
The old
like
monkey's
John
paw
Ward didn't
thing.
like it. I don't think.
Wow, John
But
Ward.
he's kind of a
Curmudgeon.
curmudgeon these days. Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, thank you guys for joining us today. Thank you, Ri Maku. It's always a pleasure.
course.
What are you up to?
What am I up to? I'm currently working on a new script for a sort of like... I want to add some horror aspects to it, but it's more of a drama than anything. I'm doing that. And mostly I'm writing. I'm continuing to write. And having a great time with it.
Well, remember, if you ever need a character who is in a cow onesie, I am your man.
You know what? I believe it.
She believes it.
And it is noted.
You'll if she's ever doing that, you'll be the first one she picks.
I hope so.
Absolutely.
I hope
Oh,
so.
yeah.
I know that.
Oh, yeah. You're
I know
the,
that.
You're the
That's
only
just speaking
cow
for you,
for
but-
me, Paul.
Yay! That's moveless.
We gotta do a onesie party like we did with
We
Stephanie.
do. We did that up in Maryland. It was so much fun.
It was
I
cute.
used to have a panda onesie, and I had a Batman onesie.
Oh, that's all right.
With
That's
a cape.
great.
With a cape?
Yeah, it got stolen.
Aw.
Somebody stole both of them?
Both of them.
That's
Wow.
mean.
I know.
We can have a onesie party here.
If you can
absolutely.
get a
Buy
new
a onesie.
onesie, buy a new onesie.
I'm gonna. It's gonna be ridiculous.
I've got a walrus one, and now I have a cow one.
I'm gonna have a borderline fursuit. I have a mascot suit. Does that count?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. It's a horse.
Nice.
It's a horse.
Yeah, I don't know why I bought it. I think it was like I was drunk in college.
Outstanding.
That's
we
why
need to
you buy
use
a
this.
horse.
We need to use this.
Which is why I vote that the mood killer
Oh,
have
that's
a
right.
sidekick, the naysayer.
The naysayer.
The
I love
naysayer,
it.
that's right. But you said that before. I remember that. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
That's
yeah.
great. Absolutely.
And that'll be your costume. All
There
right.
you
So
go.
you already got the. You already got.
I can see them posed next to each other side by side in their superhero pose. That would be fun.
Yes.
All right. Well, we have just talked a good amount on here, and really appreciate you being here and everybody else for listening. If you have not seen I Am a Ghost, go check it out. It's on free on Tubi, or buy the Blu-ray because you get all these extras. I might actually buy the Blu-ray for all the extra stuff. I do want to hear commentary and stuff.
There is a Spanish DVD version out there as well, but it's a region 2, just so you know.
Buy the Blu-ray, everybody.
Yeah.
The Blu-ray. Until then, everybody, enjoy yourselves, and we'll be back for a brand new episode in a couple weeks.
And I'll be back to my normal ways and get a good stinky movie for you guys.
We can't wait for that. Thanks. All right, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed this. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.